The Hajj, the world's largest pilgrimage movement, with millions of devout Muslims traveling to Mecca each year, was in full swing in December 1974. The pilgrimage has been a profitable business for airlines, with chartered planes from all over the world assisting pilgrims on their long journeys. The flight in question was operated by Martinair, a charter subsidiary of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, on behalf of Garuda Airlines, the Indonesian national carrier. On December 4, 1974, Martinair Flight 138 was flying from Surabaya, Indonesia, to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The flight, which was fully packed with pilgrims, needed a convenient stopover to refuel in Colombo's Katunayake Airport, now Katunayake Bandaranaike International Airport, BIA, was chosen as a result. Martinair Flight 138 was approaching Sri Lanka from the east. On board were 191 passengers and crew. At 9:46 p.m., the pilots contacted Colombo's Air Traffic Control, ATC, to report they were 130 nautical miles from the runway at BIA. The weather at BIA was described as good, with light winds, visibility over 10 km, and some scattered clouds to the east of the runway. At the time, aviation navigation facilities in Sri Lanka were primitive, and ATC lacked the necessary radar equipment to keep track of aircraft. The pilots were using a Doppler system instead of the primary navigation beacon, the Katunayake VOR Very High Frequency Omnidirectional Range. As the aircraft approached central Sri Lanka, the pilots activated approach control and reported to ATC that they were descending to 6,000 feet and 14 miles from BIA. The controller, who was not equipped with radar, had no way of knowing and assumed the position was correct. He cleared the plane for another 2,000-foot descent and asked the pilots to report when the airport was in sight. Suddenly, Martinair 138 fell silent and no further communication with the airline was received. The sound of an explosion was reported near Maskalia, Nuara Elia shortly afterwards. Later, eyewitnesses reported seeing an aircraft flying lower than normal over Castlereagh Reservoir. Subsequently, it was found that the aircraft has impacted the fifth mountain of the Saptha Kanya mountain range, also known as the Seven Virgins. Investigations revealed that the aircraft had collided with the mountain range, destroying the fuselage and wings. Ruptured fuel tanks had started a fire nearby, and the wreckage was spread across 4 square miles. The search parties, who scoured the area for several days, eventually discovered a scene of devastation. Even the black box, also known as the flight data recorders, was reportedly destroyed during the impact. Today, the only reminder of what was, at the time, one of the world's worst airline crashes is a lonely memorial plaque. Sri Lankans were fascinated by the Martinair disaster at the time, which has since largely been forgotten. It was especially frightening in a country that was otherwise peaceful at the time.